What's up, y'all? Now we got another video that we reacting to, Steamy Streamers. Y'all know I don't even like referring to this guy just because of the name of his channel. But the video is titled The Connective Tissue of Z Vegeta and How Super Abused It. Let's check this out.
Remember when Dragon Ball Z had character development?
So he starts out with the question, do you remember when Dragon Ball Z had character development? Which, in my personal opinion, something was happening for every single character in Dragon Ball Super, but let's see how he tries to spin it at the expense of Dragon Ball Super.
He will pay the ultimate price for what he has done to my son! The pride of our race! You must defeat him, please!
And then Super made it redundant by copying it?
Bulma, Kappa, I'm sorry. It's up to you, Kakarot. Don't you fail to...
Okay, now first off, one thing comes to mind. In a previous video that I reacted to, he hyper-exaggerated and essentially twerked out of control on behalf of Vegeta shaving his mustache when he was roasted by his daughter. And he said this shows how much he wants to protect his family and how much he loves his family. I showcased in that video like, hey, you were talking about Vegeta's insecurity over here, but you ain't talking about him shaving that mustache when getting roasted, him feeling as bad as he did. Regardless, he thought that the shaving of Vegeta's mustache was far more substantial in showing the development of Vegeta than he does in a situation of the Tournament of Power, when being eliminated after protecting Goku. Remember, when 17, quote unquote, sacrificed himself for Goku and Vegeta, both Goku and Vegeta fell down toward the ground. They were both standing after that, but Goku collapsed. Only Vegeta was standing at the end of the episode, and he stands off and basically protects Goku, who cannot even stand, who will just be eliminated, right? All the way up until the point where Vegeta is eliminated and he gives Goku his energy. This showcases, because he had told Jiren outright that even if I'm not the one who defeats you, that is fine by me, right? So, Vegeta was already showcasing development. I think that the circumstances and everything that happened in the tournament, I think that they're a factor of a moment like what we're discussing, a moment like when he's finally eliminated. Yeah, everything that happened in the tournament is definitely a factor toward this being emotional, especially when you know what's at stake. Dragon Ball GT definitely didn't have that, but I think that was a lot of development when this much is riding on it. You tell me what you think. Mustache versus trying to save all of the universe.
Vegeta, you're not really gonna use that suicidal move, are
you? A moment like in the Tournament of Power, when dealing with God of Destruction Topo, when dealing with a God of Destruction, that which we saw defeat Goku. And it's like, we better be careful. In the very end, this guy is forsaken everything in order to achieve this power. And Vegeta stands on the fact that, hey, I will not forsake the things that matter to me for power. The things that matter to me give me the power. And he whoops Topo. This was dope. What do you think? This moment versus the shaving of his mustache?
Anyone miss the connective tissue of Dragon Ball Z and the fact even its prequel, its origins, Dragon Ball, the story beats and elements that Akira Toriyama explored and wrote? And
hold on. This is the part where he overtalks. I've learned this, and I've learned not to bore you with this. So what I'm going to do is skip ahead to where he starts talking about Dragon Ball Super.
From the beginning or the end of either of them have no connective tissue, no story beats carry over between the sagas. And if we look at the characters, mainly Goku and Vegeta, since Super kind of refuses to explore no other characters.
Hold on, wait, nope. Now we won't accept that, because Dragon Ball GT picked the most ragtag group for the main characters. It feels almost like they intentionally chose people who had absolutely no chemistry to each other. Now, if you've played Dragon Ball Kakarot and you know about that little system they have to give you certain boosts by pairing certain characters that are related to each other in various ways, it's like looking at it like that. You didn't get a Piccolo and a Goten and Trunks who would have had some type of connection or chemistry from what happened in the Buu Saga. You didn't get a Piccolo and a Gohan for that connection, or Piccolo Goku Gohan, or a Goku Gohan, or a Goku Goten, or a Goku Gohan Goten, or a Vegeta Trunks, or you didn't even go a Goku Vegeta Piccolo, or you didn't go for anything that made sense. Not a Gohan Pan, not a Piccolo Pan. It was because they didn't actually understand the characters, so they were so damn afraid. They had to pick characters that had little to no actual chemistry between each other, because they knew that they would just get that wrong. This is the reason why Vegeta is barely even in the damn show. But you didn't have a problem with that. In Dragon Ball Super, you see Tien getting it in, you see Yamcha getting it in, you see Roshi getting it in. I saw Chaozu getting it in, Piccolo's getting it in, exceeding limitations. Gohan is, Goten is, Trunks is, Goku is, Vegeta is, in new characters that are introduced. So Roshi is getting it in as well. So this is what I'm saying. Dragon Ball GT fans say things that will instantly mark them out if we pay any attention to it.
From the beginning to the end, they're the same. Or worse, there's a redundancy of reusing character moments like Vegeta's final atonement in the Universal Survival Tournament. So I really feel when you're...
Oh, but you didn't have a problem with Goku saying, sorry, Vegeta, I'm going to have to borrow your technique and I'm going to try to do something similar. So it's not a problem when Goku's thinking of doing it to Android 17, but it's a problem when Vegeta's doing it. And he's the one who did it in the first place. So him essentially resorting to it again is like, okay, this is a move that we've seen Vegeta do. But Goku doing it, I didn't hear a peep from you.
Comparing these series, something that Dragon Ball Z gets so right is the fact that Akira Toriyama was writing the series.
Is he about to start over talking again? Hold on, wait, let's get up out of here on that part. Because this is what he does to wear you down to, no, you need to address the parts where he talk about Super. Because most of the time, he doesn't really understand Super.
Was portraying Vegeta's character in his later life. And I feel like Super kind of just goofed him up a little bit more. And again, made him redundant by taking some of his character development from Z. Was portraying Vegeta's character in his later life.
He said, did what to him?
And I feel like Super kind of just goofed him up a little bit more.
Goofed him up a little bit more? Oh, you mean Vegeta being shown to coexist with characters and Vegeta not being above the comedic elements of Dragon Ball? Oh, you mean you hate to see Vegeta shown in those elements? I remember in Dragon Ball Z when Goku bit Frieza's tail, it got real comedic. Even Frieza was subject to the comedic elements. So, yeah, you know what I mean? But then when you see Vegeta walking around with a mustache and looking ridiculous and getting roasted about it, you love it though. You love the comedic elements that exist, but yeah, you don't have a problem with none of this. You just have a problem with there existing things that totally outclass Dragon Ball GT, and you wish to win this argument. You wish to win this topic, but you can't.
And again, made him redundant by
not unless you're going to tell the truth. If you start telling the truth, people like me won't be able to do a damn thing about it.
Taking some of his character development from Z and repeating it. But anyway, sorry. Back to Saiyan Saga, Vegeta, and his connective tissue.
And I just want to touch more on that. People like me won't give a damn that you do it, because telling the truth is all that I do. Now, skip ahead. Let's see what we see. Because I believe this is the part. Yeah, here we go. Okay, let's get it.
On Cartoon Network, in association with Lego Software.
Is there really a villain in Dragon Ball Super per se? There is no stakes of that. We have Beerus and Whis, which I actually think are the best.
Hold on, wait. That's not the question you asked. You asked, is there a villain in Dragon Ball Super? There have been several villains. Now, you asking, is there a villain that Beerus and Whis can beat, perhaps that could be a different question that you could ask. But what I'm detecting is a problem with the existence of Beerus and Whis. And this would be consistent with literally everything that I've said about Dragon Ball GT fans. You have a problem with the existence of things that outclass what you have preference for.
Written and developed characters in Dragon Ball Super, at least just from a character.
Oh, I know you ain't talking. I know you ain't talking. Hey, that's so damn funny. But I know you ain't talking, man, because we got Frieza and Cell. Look, this actually makes me laugh, though. This actually makes me laugh. I'm not gonna lie. This is hilarious. The little dude makes me laugh. Yeah, this makes me laugh. You know, but when I looked at Frieza and Cell in Dragon Ball GT, I was like, hell no.
Perspective point of view, they're interesting enough. But you know, there's none of that stakes that carry over between sagas. Outside.
What the hell are you talking about? What the hell are you talking about? It's consistently building up to the existence of the Grand Priest and what's happening with the Omni Kings. The Omni Kings catch on in the U6 versus the U7 tournament, and they talk about a tournament coming on, and you find out that it has massive stakes. Yes, you're wrong. Check this out.
Goku and Vegeta being the main focus and every other character being ignored.
You know, in the manga, you also see that the Grand Priest was trying to encourage the Omni Kings to destroy all of the universes on the spot. They had forgotten about promising the tournament. When Goku showed up, the Grand Priest didn't show any relief of, oh yeah, I forgot that you were going to give them this opportunity. Instead, he showed agitation at Goku showing up and reminding him. So to me, that suggested that the Grand Priest is kind of probably evil and got his own motives, right? And that the neutrality for the angels is something that he probably enforces on them for the sake of, stay low key. But these are the mysteries of Dragon Ball Super, which they still teach us. It still expands, and Dragon Ball GT fans hate that because they see that as superior to Dragon Ball GT as Super already is. They see that it's still doing nothing but growing bigger.
Fortunately, and being trained with Beerus and Whis, we get like a tournament saga.
It's bad because they're getting cucked out, and they're like, it's still growing.
That goes into a future Trunks saga that, you know, is completely kind of ripping a fair bit from Z, just even bringing that back. But that has no connective tissue into the next saga. You know, there's not even a Trunks in the Universe Survival Tournament to bring true from those sagas. There's just complete selection of these interspliced short stories that could all exist on their own with no ultimate character development or, again, connective tissue. But, you know, we look at...
That's false, because they are consistently learning the points that lead up to Ultra Instinct. They are consistently learning more about the elements that they didn't first know. Like, first they become aware of Universe 6. They become aware of the different universe. They become aware of Vados and Champa. Then later on, they become aware of the Omni Kings, okay, at the point of the U6 versus the U7 tournament. And they become aware of, you know, all of the different universes again and everything. They become aware of the stakes as far as the tournament that's coming up. They have the expo where they meet various people from the other tournaments, but they find out, or from the other universes, they meet various people and they go up against Universe 9 in the expos, and then the Tournament of Power eventually happens, and it still continues, right? So he's 100% wrong about this. He's trying to describe it as negatively as possible, and it's not even working out for the words as they're coming out of his lips.
Vegeta that ends up on Namek, and you know, we get a wounded animal. We get someone who is going back essentially to his home life, in the sense that,
and that is reflective of that point in time in his life, to demand the same things. And you want to talk about development? That's not what development is. So see what you're saying. What you're actually trying to do is restrict him to staying the same while staying underneath. You want him inferior to Goku, and you hate that he isn't. You absolutely hate this. This is what I'm saying. to see the things that Vegeta was doing was because he had to do those things. He knew that the existence of people like Frieza and Frieza's employment and him not being able to do nothing with them and still wanting his freedom forced him to have to navigate different strategies, different tactics, forced him to maneuver in a variety of ways just to stay alive, right? Acknowledging that it was people that he couldn't work with when the Ginyu Force came down there, and being willing to deal with others and help. And at the same time, we also didn't know enough about Vegeta to say that he wouldn't have accepted help or dealt with people in the first place. We didn't know enough about him to know that he wasn't a good person deep down underneath. You can kind of see it when he deals with Gohan and Krillin, when he teams up with them in Namek against, I kind of think he was already showcasing that, even to the point to where he kind of rests out and they take the Dragon Balls because he kind of trusted them. It was kind of already showing that. But I think that to what extent we are just finding out versus to what extent he is changing, that's debatable. But you still can't demand it either way. And you can't demand that this still be that same circumstance, right? Especially not if we're having a conversation of development.
He was a Saiyan that was abused by Frieza, you know, sent into Savant, creating that sense of a rupture to the develop, and every time, and the tears of...
See what I'm saying? So much of this video is actually just, check this out.
Character moments, you know, it's the same Vegeta from the Battle of Gods all the way to the survival tournament. There is no progression there, you know, and this is only just 2 sagas of Dragon Ball Z of connect.
There is no progression? So a Vegeta who was stronger than Super Saiyan 3 Goku as a Super Saiyan 2, who took the initiative of his own to go and train under Whis. Goku didn't do this. Goku didn't tell Vegeta, you should do this. Nobody else told Vegeta, you should do this. This is something that he took the initiative of and said, I'm gonna do, no matter how hard it is, to get on one knee and to ask this person to train me. I don't care, I'm doing it. I don't give a damn. That apron is pink. I'm gonna wear that because he's testing me, and I have to be willing to do this. I have to understand the value of the things that are at stake here, right? He's testing me. So, initiative, development, progression, growth. Goku piggybacks. They then start working together. They start training together. They at one point admit, I hate to admit it, but when I work with you, I see weaknesses. Goku says, I see weaknesses myself. I never even knew that I had. Vegeta thinks in his head, I hate to admit it, but the same's true for me also. I can already tell how much better I've gotten, how much stronger I am. I can't wait to crush the other team. And so they're working together. And so we start seeing new elements that we've never seen before, which means you going back to old elements and demanding those no longer apply. This is development. But you're mad. You're mad because you didn't have this. Because Goku and Vegeta never trained or did a push-up together in Dragon Ball GT. But here they are, training in the room of spirit and time, in an enhanced room. First off, the room of spirit and time was strengthened. They were able to go back in and stay in for 3 years at a time. And then we starts putting them in an enhanced room of spirit and time that Beerus trains in. And they're training in there, and they're training under Whis. So, and they're training together. So all of these massive elements leading toward growth, leading toward how they handle situations being different, leading toward us seeing these new elements. It's a new situation, new potential, new, there it is. And that exists moving forward, where Goku, and we see Goku learns how to tap into the Kaioken. How will Vegeta rebound from this? Vegeta will this, that, and the third. Vegeta will achieve his level of power, and Goku will achieve this. Vegeta will eventually surpass that level of power with Super Saiyan Blue Evolution. Yes, even MUI, and then achieve Ultra Ego. And oh my goodness, there's been massive growth. God Ki itself showcases a development that is consistent among arc to arc, because it continues to evolve and they continue to do things with it. Yeah. They're also learning things that, Maris being Whis' brother, us learning things about about the Daikaya, which filter in the things about Oob and the fact that he has God Key. They're doing things for arcs that aren't even present, but that are working for Planet Sadala popping in, us knowing about Black Frieza, Granola only having a couple of years of life, us understanding that these elements with Jiren and with Topo and those elements existing, so many things are consistently developing at all points in time. Yes, there is growth among all of the arcs. You know it. Just ask the people who don't want to admit that Jiren gets folded by a base form Vegeta punch. Just ask them, you don't think Jiren's training? So you acknowledge development. Yeah, you niggas don't like that. Neither. Check this out.
Narrative tissue. So yeah, and then finally, of course, we're kind of heading into future Trunks arriving.
Bro, this is already tiring me out. What the fuck?
Oh, damn. Y'all are not getting him subscribers. Y'all are not.